Welcome to the Friday Matinee here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am T.
I'm George.
And you've got info.
Well, you know, Mother Nature was kind of like...
Tricky Minx.
I had an ex-girlfriend like that once.
Tricky Minx.
Totally crazy, crazy nutty.
And when you least expect it, right?
And I wanted to give you a little bit of kudos yesterday to your reporting. I was tuned in. You did a good job keeping everybody updated.
Oh, it was outrageous because it seemed like everywhere just slightly north of us had gotten hit by this strange little weather pattern that just centered over this one area, and it just went bananas with 60-mile-an-hour winds and dropping hail the size of golf balls. It was biblical.
So it closed some roads. We have the 5 northbound, southbound still closed. 5 northbound closed at Parker Road. 5 southbound closed at Grapevine Road. So if you need to get anywhere in that area, you're going to have to find an alternate route. You got to find another way. We also have other road closures posted on our website at hometownstation.com, especially in the Spunky Canyon, Green Valley, Elizabeth Lake, Lake Hughes, and parts of Antelope Valley areas, Leona Valley. You want to check that out.
And you should always follow us on Facebook and Twitter because we're constantly posting traffic updates there also.
Seeing as that emergency is our first priority, so we do want to remind you this is the Friday Matinee. And of course, arts and entertainment abound. Who do we have, Dee?
Today, we're going to be speaking with Lindsay Gambini, who's here talking about the wonderful lineup coming up. There are some fabulous family productions over at the PAC, over at COC, the Performing Arts Center there. One of my favorite stories, because Halloween is my holiday. That's our family thing. And there is a fabulous story. London's Tall Stories Theater Company is coming in with Room on the Broom. Now, if you don't know this, it's a best-selling book, and it is funny, and it's not, they say scary fun, but it's just fun. It's fun for children and the grown-ups, because the witch has a cat in a very tall hat, but there's room on her broom, maybe, or not.
Oh, I see.
So it's like to me, it's the story that's very similar to the old lady who swallowed the fly, but this is not as creepy and no gastric juices. It's actually way more fun.
Thank you for that.
Whether or not
Thank you, COC, for no gastric juices, Performing Arts Center.
So she has lots of room on her broom for helpful friends, and the question is, what happens when a dragon appears? It's actually a lot of fun. This is running at the Performing Arts Center, October 24th, 1 p.m. It's a Saturday show. You get in, you get out, and it's a lot of, fall Halloween fun. And tickets are, Lindsay, correct me, it's $15 a ticket?
Yes, it is.
And $10 for students and seniors, would it be? Or
it's $10 for the balcony.
For the balcony, that's what it is. All right, so there's that. Have you ever read the book Room on a Broom?
Of course, I read that to my children when they were small.
Love that book. Love that book.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is a really great price for this. Is this in the main theater or is it in the black box?
It is in the main theater.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be just visually spectacular. It's a lot of fun. The next show coming up, October.
Let me stop you for one quick second.
By all means.
We added another dimension to the performance next Saturday. We will have art activities in the lobby beginning at noon for the kids, so come early. And we are also, if they would like to come in costume, either the Halloween costumes or costumes related to the Room on the Broom, we're going to give prizes to the best 3 costumes. So we'll have a little costume parade as well.
Can moms and dads come in costume too?
No, it's 12 and
Dang
under.
Dang it.
And under T.
I know. Well, that's all right. I like watching the kids in their costumes too, but I love that there's going to be art and there's a whole lot of things for all the senses. And speaking of dragon, because what happens when a dragon appears, Golden Dragon Acrobats coming in Friday, October 30th at 8 p.m. We get some of the best shows. Now, I had a chance to go see Time Jumpers, which was phenomenal. Some of the world's best musicians. From Broadway to the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Stage, the Golden Dragon Acrobats, traditional dance, acrobatics, spectacular costumes, ancient and contemporary music. Is that the music we grew up with, George? Ancient? No?
I think at our age now, it's all the same. Yes.
It's all ancient. And theatrical techniques. It's definitely something that will have you spellbound. Nice on the eve before Halloween. So now, have you had a chance, Lindsay, to see some of the Golden Dragon Acrobats?
Yes, I have seen them before, and they're a wonderful company. They are amazing acrobats, and you just sit there spellbound the entire time. It's very fast-paced, loud music, and lots of action.
I know. Some people think they're really good at their CrossFit. Oh, really? Come see this, and then talk to me about how athletic you are. And then, not only are people athletic, George, the stunt dog experience.
I know, and as a dog lover, this would be fascinating. The amazing tricks, big air stunts, comedy antics, dancing dogs, and athletic feats. High energy excitement from beginning to end. Now, this is a situation, is there a certain type of breed, or they have all kinds of different breeds, or where do they get the...
They're usually pretty much Heinz 57, a lot of different, no particular purebreds typically.
Well, that's actually pretty good, because it makes me think that perhaps they have adopted these dogs too.
Most of them have been adopted from shelters, exactly that.
That is fabulous. Hey, kid, want to get into show business? Wow, it's like a rags to riches story.
Do you think Otis and Daisy and I forgot your Buddy would cotton to being taught how to do these like crazy antics?
Their beagles are a little too independent, and Buddy is now at that age where he doesn't really hear very well. Either that, or he's just an old man.
I think he's ignoring you, George. I think he's ignoring you in the event that you might make them do the stunt dog experience.
Now, I'm really excited because this is not only one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite plays. Of course, the movie iconically with such great actors as, of course, Sidney Poitier. We're talking about A Raisin in the Sun coming to the Performing Arts Center. This would be in November. 2 weekends, November 13th, 14th, and the 20th and 21st. And here to talk about that particular production was actually in the show, Renee Poignard. Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Renee, your bio is just absolutely delicious. Besides the fact you're a smashingly beautiful woman, you are a seasoned actor, a newly published fiction author. We're going to have to talk about that. And rave reviews, standing ovations when performing your one-woman monologues, The Mahogany Door, Women of Biblical Times. That right there I want to sign up for. And Does God Know Your Name? I'm curious about, you speak to audiences through the voices of several characters with a lot of relatability, wit, charm, and truth. I'd be curious, what are your give me a little bit about your monologues.
Well, I'll give you an example of Does God Know Your Name? I play 6 characters. It is a television show where the hostess is interviewing hot topics, and one of the topics is Does God Knows Your Name? And so I have 6 characters. There's Sharika Jones, there's Barbara Coleman, who is a grandma, there's also Ronnie Alvarez, and there is the hostess herself, and all the different characters tell their story about how they know that God knows their name. And each character performs or tells their story, and there are 3 or 4 characters that's involved with each character. So I end up doing maybe about 12, 15 characters in a 15-minute monologue.
A game show, Does God Know Your Name? That's kind of fun. I would like to see this, but you'll be performing November 14th and then the 15th and 22nd in Raisin in the Sun, and you're taking some classes at COC, yes?
Yes, I'm a COC student, a senior citizen COC student. Very
Woo-hoo,
exciting.
Love that.
Keeps me young. All the young people tell me about Snapchat, Instagram, how to work Twitter. Love it.
This is good.
I want to talk about A Raisin in the Sun. This is a story, for those of you who don't know, it takes place in
1950s, Chicago, South Side.
Right. Now, there was a lot going on in 1950s in general, but especially for African American families. It just the idea or concept that they can move anywhere. It only took till 1950, I should say, before President Truman eliminated any laws from a federal standpoint that would block anybody from moving where they wanted to go, specifically minorities. So this is a story about a family who came into some money, and what they're going to do with the money. Are they going to move to the suburbs? But then you have the husband who wants to invest in another business enterprise. And so there's a lot of great tenderness, but a lot of great drama and conflict in this story. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. It takes place in 1950 Chicago, and it's after the Great Migration, when the American Negroes, if you want to say, at that time were moving to the north, Chicago, Detroit, New York, and they were leaving one type of racism, in a sense of speaking, and moving into another. Now they have segregation and discrimination. And so you have this family that's full of dreams, and there are conflicts that happens that to Tear the Dreams, based upon Langston Hughes' poem, A Dream Deferred. And here they are trying to overcome these conflicts. Like you said, you have Walter Younger, who wants to invest in a liquor store with this insurance money. You have Mama, who would like to have her dream of having a house. You have Beneatha, who is a new way of thinking for the 1950s. She wants to be a doctor. And then you also have the wife of Walter Young, who would just like to be able to be the typical 1950 housewife and be able to have a home for her children. So you have all these dreams, and then you have major conflicts during that time.
And I think it's one of those stories that are still important to this day, and not only see how far we come, but in some cases see how far we still need to go, right?
I agree. You have in general, I would say it's a story for families, because it's about conquering all conflicts that come your way through the unity of a family. So, yes, you do have racism, which we still see today, but this story sort of gives you hope. There's integrity, there's determination, and then there is the depending upon family to make your dreams come true, and that's the beauty of the story.
And that's what I like to call the triumph of the human spirit story.
Yes.
That it has something that can apply to absolutely everybody.
Everyone can relate to that.
Provoke thought as the purpose of art. So how did you get involved in this show? Did they had auditions for this, right?
Yes, they had auditions. I actually started to go back to College of the Canyons to get my theater degree, and I ran into the wonderful Susan Henshaw, who is the director, one of the directors and instructors there. And she told me 5 years ago, she said, "You are Lena Young, and I would love to do A Raisin in the Sun." And she came back full circle underneath the wonderful direction of Miss Gambini and said, "Let's do A Raisin in the Sun." I was so excited. I knew that Santa Clarita was going to have a new, rich experience. So through acting at COC is where I began my monologues, as well as to have the opportunity to be in this play.
No. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, where else are you doing the monologues? I'm very excited about these. I love the idea, the game show and Women of Biblical Times. Now, you are a writer. You wrote your monologues? These are
Yes.
These are things you've created yourself. Where are you currently performing these, or where can we see these down the road?
Well, I started writing through COC and taking the classes at College of the Canyons, and that was the result of me writing my book also too. But my performances are all over. I'm usually booked with most ladies' church groups when I do Does God Know Your Name. I actually perform a monologue for my book signing. Instead of reading, I do 9 dresses, a monologue. So at every book signing, I have the opportunity to perform too.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to come and see this. Give us a little bit of info about your book.
Well, the book is about Lena. I started to say Lena Young. I'm back to Raisin in the Sun. It's the story of Simone Dupree, who is a 50-year-old woman who is a motherless daughter. She lost her mother when she was 10 years old. And she heard a voice say to her one day, "You're going to see your mother again." And she just felt like it was God. But as she was a little girl, it never happened. So she gave up on the dream. And now she's 50. It's her birthday. And she runs to go get coffee at Starbucks. And while she's texting, thanking everybody for their birthday wishes, her coffee order, her special birthday coffee order, is given at the counter. And she looks up to see who would know her coffee order. And it's her mother, who has been awakened from her sleep, who comes back and appears to her in 9 different dresses that triggers memories for her and that help heals her soul, teaching her things that she missed as a young girl through her mother.
Oh, I can't
That
wait.
sounds very
There we
touching.
go. You're going to get the waterworks.
Thank
going
you for
to
asking.
the-
Thank you for
So
asking.
I want to talk about this because you're a seasoned actor now. Before you went to College of the Canyons, did you have a different career? What made you go back to school?
Well, I was in the spa industry for 40 years,
Wow.
and I had a setback. I moved here from Georgia to be with my family, my beautiful 3 grandchildren, and right in the midst of my career, I was let go from my position, and I was sort of like in Stuckville. And my daughter walks up to me and says, "Here's your book bag." And I said, "A book bag for what?" And she said, "Well, you always wanted to go back to school and get your degree. You're registered at College of the Canyons."
Man.
And I said, "I'm not going back to school." And she said, "There's an acting class." And I said, "Oh, so there's an acting class, something I've always wanted to do." So I said, "I will go, but I'm
took
not
that
taking the
book
book
bag.
bag. I'm not taking the book bag, but I will go back to school." And I walked into the first class with Susan Susan Henshaw, and she walked up to me and said, "I don't know what you have been doing prior to coming here this day, but the universe has brought you back where you're supposed to be."
Oh, good for her.
So, yeah.
You know, we do have one of the best educational institutions, I believe, of just about anywhere, because College of the Canyons, besides being a beautiful campus and the glorious Performing Arts Center, it welcomes you with open arms and gives you the opportunity to test drive things at any age, at any point. There have been wonderful, wonderful young people that have come straight out of high school to College of the Canyons, have gone on to great things. And I love hearing the stories of people who go back to school and find their passion, find their drive, find their purpose in that second chapter. So you are a wonderful testimony to College of the Canyons. And
Well, College of the Canyons literally sort of rejuvenated my life. It gave me new hope and just did so much wonderful things for me. And the students are great. They don't care about your age. They all interact with you. You feel young. You feel good. You have the support of a wonderful administration at College of the Canyon. And I would say, if there's any seniors out there wanting to know what to do and how to restart their life, go to COC.
learning is one of the best vitamins ever
Yes.
for every age, really and
Yes.
truly. And again, if you haven't had an opportunity to come out to see any of the shows at the Performing Arts Center, I highly recommend. Again, we're here with Lindsay Gambini from COC, from the Performing Arts Center. Room on the Broom coming Saturday, October 24th at 1 p.m. Golden Dragon Acrobats, Friday, October 30th at 8 p.m. The Stunt Dog Experience. George, I think you have to go to this just so you can go home and
November
teach your dogs
13th.
thing at 8,
sure I
8
will,
p.m. And then Raisin in the Sun, which is November 14th, 15th, 22nd at 2 p.m. Now, is that in the black box or which?
Raisin in the Sun is in the black
In the
box.
black box.
Okay, it's also, well, Friday at November 13th as well. So that's
Oh, did I miss the
Friday, Saturday.
13th? Oh,
it's
yes.
Friday and
Sorry.
Saturday, 13th and 14th, the 20th, 21st, and then Saturday, November 14th, and Sunday, November 15th and 22nd at 2 p.m.
Darn split
Did you
in
get
the
all-
paper.
If you didn't get all that, because I know I kind of rattled
Right?
that off.
So where do they get the info?
You can see all the shows, make your reservations by going to canyonspac.com. Tickets are only $10 for Raisin in the Sun, so there is no excuse whatsoever, unless
An
you
amazing
physically are
production.
not in town both those weekends, to be able to go see it. And I will definitely make my reservations. Lindsay, this is an amazing season. You guys always put together such great stuff. Now, this is just going through November, but I know that looking at the rest of the season, by the way, at canyonspac.com, you can actually see the entire season, make your reservations for stuff way in advance. You guys have had such great talent that
Thank you
comes
very
through the
much.
doors. And it's nice because prior to the Performing Arts Center opening up here, if you wanted to get anywhere remotely close, you either went out to Lancaster
Right.
or maybe down to Northridge if you were lucky.
If you're-
And so to have this type of, if there was something
That's
there.
right.
So to have something here in town that is no more than 15 minutes away from anybody, it's COC's 5 minutes away from my house. So again, there's no excuse not to go to any of these. This has been fantastic. Renee, that's such a testimonial to your talent and your drive to be
Thank
able to
you.
continue to do this. And I will tell you, I don't believe that you could have been in any industry for 40 years, because I was like thinking, okay, she might be our age, you know. And so either that or you started very, very, very young. So that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm not going to say another word on that.
Okay, perfect. So I wish you continued success and definitely make our reservations to see this as well. I'm looking forward to it. And also, don't forget, canyonspac.com for all of your reservations to make now. Go on. Wait till our show's over and then go. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really, truly appreciate it. And again, always good to talk with you, Lindsay. And
Thank you,
Renee,
George.
again, great
Thank
luck.
you.
You too.
This is the Friday Matinee. We'll be right back with more on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.